Hi, it's me, Gabrielle here, and today I'm making this film. Why am I making this film now? There are a lot of folks on YouTube who, as January, they stop making films. Now, some of them are big YouTubers who are mated and are making income from Google and YouTube. Others are just smaller fairways that are mated. Others are big and small who are not mated. But there always seems to be this one thing. Oh, I'm done making films. Oh, I'm frightened of the FTC, and oh, well, I don't want, and I'm not going to be making enough from Google or YouTube. Well, there are other ways that one can make their income besides Google and YouTube. There's Patreon. That French borrowed word. The English word is backer and a forwarder. That webstead. There's GoFundMe. You can also ask your followers to afford you and back you if they want to. As far as the oversight goes, I don't think that's the thing. It's true, yes, there is a COPPA oversight, but that oversight is not even as bad as it is. Yes, YouTube does have to watch what they're taking and who they're taking it from, if they're in or out. YouTube did get in a hang-up April this year, and they were seen guilty of it in October of last year for taking web cookies or web tweets or whatever you want to call it from folks that were underage. Either they were on YouTube, either through a Google reckoning or a YouTube reckoning, or they weren't. How I believe it works is that if YouTube somehow believes that someone is lying about who they're making films for, like they say it's for kids, but they're doing things that are for grown-ups, or someone who says they're not for kids, but they're doing something that is for kids, making films like that, then I think YouTube might say, okay, you're not following the oversight. And then I think YouTube could then sends the fairway over to the Federal Trade Commission. And then they look at it. And then they have to do an underseeking. And if they can have a meeting to say, yeah, we need to underseek this fairway and its films, then they got to either call the owner or the runner or send them some kind of send telling them why they're being underseeked. Then they got to do the underseeking, and that could take like a year, like it did with YouTube. YouTube was sent to the FTC in April. The FTC took a whole year almost of underseeking until about October that they were guilty of it. So then after they do the underseeking, it could take a year. Then they got to have another meeting to see if there was enough truth, that enough folks believed that the fairway or the films were doing wrong. Then if they were a YouTube businessman and they were making income from Google for YouTube, then take some of that income away would go to the fine or the fee that they would have to deal with for not following the law, if they were deemed that they had to follow the law, and they were seen that they were guilty. If they weren't a YouTube businessman and they weren't making no income from Google or YouTube, and they were seen guilty of wrongdoing, then the FTC could tell YouTube, you have to remove those films. Or they could tell them, you better shut that fairway down. And then YouTube would do it. But none of that's happened yet. That doesn't mean to say there aren't someone on YouTube that wasn't following the YouTube followership oversight, or wasn't following, the rights to business. It doesn't mean to say there aren't folks out there that are truly doing wrong. And I'm sure that there are folks that were seen guilty of wrongdoing as we speak right now. Now, a lot of folks are like, oh, well, a lot of folks would think, oh, no big deal. Some folks would think you could go to other websites if you wanted to, like Dailymotion or Twitch or Snapchat, but you might not get the same followers. You might not get the same watch time, and things might not work for you the same way. Like on YouTube, everyone can get a film on YouTube. Not everyone can get a film on Dailymotion. Dailymotion always gets films stuck in filleting way too much. And Snapchat, who knows what its hang-ups might be. And who knows what Twitch's hang-ups might be. So going to those, even though you could or might get the same number of watch time, you might get some followers, you might not get the same watch time or followers you got on YouTube. If you're one of those business mates who thinks they're going to get income from, I don't know, Orange, the owners that run Dailymotion, or Amazon, the one that owns and runs Twitch, or even Snapchat, they don't have a business mate deal. So unless you can actually get into one of their business deals, very few of them can. So even though some folks may have gotten themselves on the YouTube mate deal, doesn't mean they're going to get themselves on the Dailymotion deal or the Snapchat deal, whatever they call it, or whatever, the Twitch mateship, if they have any of those things. So the way I look at it is, I'm being on YouTube until YouTube goes down. And everyone's going to say the shit they want to say about YouTube. Oh, YouTube didn't follow the law. It was true. There were folks at YouTube who were doing things they shouldn't have been doing. They were guilty of it. YouTube has learned not to do that, and they're not going to do that anymore. Oh yeah, YouTube is this and that. Yeah, well, at the end of the day, and YouTube does have some downsides to its upsides, that's true. But at the end of the day, I believe the upsides of YouTube outdo any of the downsides. And I know you're thinking, oh well, you're not a YouTube business mate. No, I'm not. This fairway is not, no, it's true. We are not a YouTube business mate. We do not have no Google AdSense or whatever the English words for it is. No business-wise think or whatever, seek. We do not make no income from Google for YouTube. We don't have any business-wises on our films or on our fairway. Nothing like that. So you're right about that. You know? And the only ones that probably would have anything to lose would be ones that weren't following the oversight. Ones that were, guilty of not following oversight or laws or whatever, Not folks like us. So no, we're going to be on YouTube. Now, some folks want to leave YouTube and they want to go somewhere else. That's their own business and good for them. If some folks think that's going to shift anything, I don't think so. Yeah. So it is what it is. And I know some of you folks out there are like, oh, YouTube is coming undone. Oh, YouTube is, they were found guilty of wrongdoing by the FTC. Oh, YouTube is a bad business. Yeah, businesses make mistakes. Yeah, YouTube is like any other business. They made a mistake. Google made a mistake. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I still believe that YouTube is still the most good video showing, film showing website on the interwebs. At least YouTube lets me come on every day, and they let me upload every day. And unlike Dailymotion, where it's always hit and miss when it comes to films being playable or not, or just being stuck. And as far as, as far as, I don't know, other ones out there where you can't even make a reckoning, that's the hang up. There's going to be folks out there who believe that that's what they need to do. But I believe that YouTube is the most good most good webstead when it comes to making films and putting films out there. Everyone's going to have his or her belief, true, But at the end of the day, I still think it's good. That's me, So it is what it is. So that's it. I'm Gabrielle. Gabrielle Cunningston. Hope you like this film. I'll see you later.